Introverts of Reddit, imagine it's a reverse pandemic, and to not get sick and die, you had to spend all of your time outside, with other people and in crowds. How would you cope? Do you survive? Like how many people, if I could just spend time with my close friends I would be fine, but large noisy crowds all the time would probably be deadly. So it would probably be the inverse of COVID restrictions, so, obviously it's different around the world. If you were home it would have to be more than 10 people. Then we would be the ones making all the "I'm depressed because of the pandemic" threads. And the extroverts would be saying, "Lol nah, just go out and meet some new people. You told me that the last 29 years, mom. I guess I'll just die." After thinking about this I actually feel really bad for extroverts. This is what they have to deal with. I would find a bunch of introverts and hang out with them. We would all just have earphones on. We would be in a crowd, outside, and quiet. Anywhere where there are people. I'd probably spend my time at Disneyland or Universal Studios. Love the vibe there, and I'm an extreme introvert. The extrodemic came upon us suddenly, sweeping through humanity with the speed of an excited people person reciting their various mundane tasks to a disinterested bystander. One day the world made sense. There was time for peaceful contemplation away from the constant demands of people who had nothing better to do than bother other people, and the next day, it was all gone. For many, the entire event had been a boon. A way for us to really get to know one another and share everything. I'm not one of those people. Ever since the strange malady burst forth, it's been an unending nightmare. A gruesome montage of feigned interest in workplace stories, waiting in lines with eager children asking me why I look funny, and unending casual banter with baristas. Everywhere there are signs warning us of the dangers of isolation. "Better together" was plastered over half the surfaces in public buildings. Apparently a half-assed political slogan made for a full-assed health warning. There were more dire slogans as well. Mostly posted up on studio apartments and other small living spaces. On those, there was a skull and crossbones accompanied by "Solitary Infestation Zone." Nowadays, the sign background was mostly black, signaling that someone had died within and that there may be residual Lone Wolf 21 virus. Sometimes, you'd still see a red, indicating some loner had managed to survive long enough to get the sign put up letting everyone know to steer clear. I thought about trying to make it solo. To just roll the dice and see if I could come out the other side of shit show with my sanity intact, but I couldn't do that to my mom. Now that this disease has rolled around, she's got the perfect excuse to call 30 times a day, and I don't have an excuse to duck it. I couldn't tell her I went ISO, it'd break her heart. So I've been out and about. Every day I'm putting on the best face I can, smiling and pretending like I'm not dying inside. Because that's what you do. That's how you survive now. You trade sanity for health. I've got 13 friendship bracelets on now, and people look at me like I'm a leper. How come you don't have more? You'll be richer with more friends, and healthier too. They exclaim. 13 is unlucky. Why, just earlier that day, they were having insert random boring anecdote tangentially related to number 13 and whatever self-aggrandizing point they want to make. Sick of this bullshit. Sick of it all. I just want to go home, go to my room, pull the door shut and sleep for a week. But I can't go ISO. Gotta stay positive so I don't test positive. Better together. FML. Well heck. That would be really unpleasant. This actually gave me a pretty visceral negative reaction thinking about, and I'm not even that terribly introverted, I think. If that's how unpleasant staying in has been for some folks, I definitely feel for them. Ugh. Hello, extrovert here. I am not thriving in this reality. I wish to partake in that reality. I got COVID pretty early, elementary school teacher, and when schools closed I clung to my waitressing job so I could have human interaction, and Zoom hangouts are not cutting it. My husband had to sit me down and have a serious conversation about how important it was that I keep him in the loop with my mental health because my main sustenance is conversation. I would imagine the same thing would be necessary here, but opposite. Someone passing a note along to an introvert saying, "Hello, you do not need to answer this unless you are not doing well, but we can go sit on a bench somewhere so we're safe and we won't have to talk. Did you know that you can in fact be an introvert and still have great social skills? I am an introvert who can wear the pants of an extrovert when I need to. I worked as a waiter for almost a decade, striking up cold conversations with strangers. I just simply value and recharge with some time to myself. Introvert equals you recharge alone. Extrovert equals you recharge with social interaction. It has absolutely nothing to do with how adequate your social skills are. I've no extroverts with horrible social skills. I am an introvert with amazing charisma. So I'd adapt just fine because being an introvert has nothing to do with social anxiety.